Hello everybody, how are you doing? Let's talk pro rugby after the announcements or the news reports today. So I was going to give a bit of history and background first, and please feel free to ask questions and stuff at the bottom if you want to, and also please feel free to share this with all your friends. So first up, pro rugby was something that I kind of heard rumours about before it started, and also did an article before it started, and something I've followed since since its inception, really. And it has, let's be honest, on the plus side, it delivered a first season. It played all its games. There were teething issues. They changed streaming partners. They changed some venues, etc. But it actually happened, which is a million miles better than any other one. Then we had a lot of quiet, and obviously we were all, we've been told they were in for 3 years, we all assumed season 2 was going to go ahead. And a little while back we got news as to what season 2 would look like. Sorry. With apparently 8 teams split into 2 conferences. And that's when, or just after that, is when things started to perhaps not look so great. Steve Lewis, who was the rugby director in season 1, parted company with Pro Rugby. He was the guy who seemed to be signing all the players and putting them into the teams and sorting out the rugby side of things. He's someone that I actually had a chat to a couple of times also while he was there. And then we had the news that Pro Rugby would not be having teams in Canada as we had all assumed previously, and that Canada wouldn't give them the exclusivity they wanted. And a little bit kind of, and also a little bit throwing toys out the pram, we heard at that point that Canadian players wouldn't be signed as well because of that, and on the grounds of why should we support your players if you're not going to support us. Now today, then there was sort of other rumblings going on. I remember seeing one tweet where someone asked Pro Rugby, have you paid all your bills from season 1? And the reply was, we are owed much more than we owe other people. Which isn't a great response, really. And it's in this kind of situation, you really need to be paying your bills. Just because John doesn't pay you doesn't mean you don't pay Paul. So anyway, things weren't looking so rosy. And then today, apparently there have been discussions going on between Pro Rugby and USA Rugby, and Pro Rugby have sent out a letter, or reports show they sent out a letter to all the players terminating their contracts, saying you have 30 days notice due to discussions going on with Rugby USA. It also says that their latest payments that were supposed to go on, I think it was the 15th of December, have been got delayed and will go out on the 21st, 22nd because of those discussions. Now, I personally don't get why contractor payments to players wouldn't happen if just because there were discussions going on with Rugby USA. Rugby USA has come out and denied all accusations by Pro Rugby, and has said they won't make any other comments about this in the media. So it's unclear as to what Rugby USA's view is on this, because they won't talk about it. So it's Pro Rugby has since come out and said we are going to have a season 2, we are still pushing ahead, etc. But it does feel strange as to how are you going to have a season 2 if you've just gone and cancelled the contracts to all your players. Who is going to play in the league if you have no players? Also, the players played in that league but had 12-month contracts, so they're going to play even though they played for, say, whatever it was, 3 months or so, they would get paid over 12 months. Now, obviously, that's been cut short now because they've been given notice. So will players want to play in a league where they do the time but don't get paid for the full duration of their contracts, for example? There was also some falling out with some clubs in the USA, where Pro Rugby saying the clubs didn't make that had reneged on agreements to release or for player availability and put players in difficult positions, and hence would not be signing players from those clubs anymore as well. So there's been a bit of for a league that said they were going to be club friendly and grassroots led. All these sort of things that come out over the last couple of months have not looked have been a bit dodgy. I must say, with them now cancelling all the contracts for all those players, you do have to wonder if season 2 will happen, and it's unfortunate. I would say this now is a big setback for rugby in the USA. And it is a setback, yes, but I think professional rugby in the USA has got so much momentum now. We've had so many sort of games with the All Blacks, etc., that another league, that if Pro Rugby doesn't happen, another league will step up relatively quickly. I don't think this is going to be a big, it's going to have a long-term impact on rugby in the USA. If you look at other sports that are set up in the USA, quite often there are multiple leagues that either merge or whatever before we actually end up with the final league that sort of survives. Hi there, just talking about Pro Rugby. If you have any questions, then please throw it up. So yes, looking at it, it does look like Pro Rugby isn't probably going to survive. The CEO for Doug, the CEO for Pro Rugby, has been acting. I guess from the start he was always acting like, I'm in control, it's mine, and I don't care what other people say. Like he was like, I didn't name the teams. I think it was the right thing to do to have polls to use players. I got told I was wrong. Hey, look, it's working. I'm right, and that works up to a certain extent. And it's something perhaps you need to get a league going, but it's something you perhaps don't need, or becomes detrimental as you're supposed to have a larger organisation and a league runs onwards. So yeah, unfortunately, it does look like Pro Rugby possibly won't, or probably won't, have season 2. But hey, it's the first one there, and I think there will be someone to follow soon afterwards. Anyway, if there are no questions, thanks guys, been good chatting, and see you around on Twitter.